All right, gentlemen, I'm getting everyone set up here on the ships and at the front of the guild ship, the city in World of Warcraft. Let's make sure people are getting ready. So, going forward, most of you have previously at some point played World of Warcraft. Many of you have abstained from playing Mists of Pandaria and are looking perhaps into playing Warlords of Draenor. It's very important that we get everyone squared away to deal with all of the many new changes. There are some significant class overhauls, and I'm sure those of you who are logging in for the first time in a long time will notice the extent of the new changes. The most obvious one being the new character models and the stat crunch. The stat crunch and new abilities are going to take some time to get used to. All indications are that there's going to be a lot of changes and balancing of your new classes prior to launch of the expansion. There's a lot of abilities which are not well tuned, and things will be problematic. So to that end, we're going to be doing a lot of additional PvP training between now and Warlords to get everyone their full Prideful, which is now available with Conquest. I don't know who's hot micing, make sure that that's handled. So going forward in World of Warcraft, if you are returning, we are on Bleeding Hollow, we are Alliance. Get a character over here, transfer it, level it, do what you must, and get ready for what is coming. Blizzard has put a lot of effort and time into overhauling the game, making it more responsive, updating the graphics, making the content more, I think, palatable. It's more traditional content. It's not the kitschy Pandaria content that you're used to, which by any measure has been very cutesy. It's not traditional World of Warcraft. For those of you who played Warcraft 1, 2, and 3 and played through vanilla and some of the older expansions, Pandaria was a little bit out of left field and really, I think, a pretty obvious attempt by Blizzard to reach out to the Asian market, and the net result has been it's been a failure, frankly. It's the least successful expansion for World of Warcraft. The number of players in the game is as low now as it was in early vanilla World of Warcraft. So they've really suffered a significant loss of players from that period. And that's just the reality of it. That said, Blizzard has fully canceled Titan. They are doubling down on World of Warcraft. They're putting in their best developers, artists, musicians, their best teams to make this expansion successful. And I think it will be successful. Blizzard has no choice but to go all in on this, and they have. So you'll notice that the new changes, for those of you who are fans of Cataclysm or earlier variations, will notice that certain abilities are gone, certain ones are back. You'll notice the stats and the way the gameplay feels, I think immediately it comes to mind as being very similar to Burning Crusade, and with some tinges of what was good in Wrath of the Lich King, frankly. Yeah, exactly. So that's what the feeling that they're going for. Those are the stats they're going for. The game is more responsive because the numbers are frankly smaller. You're not having to hammer through literally millions and billions of damage on a boss. You're dealing with hundreds of thousands of damage at most. Max level characters are lucky to be hitting for maybe a fifth of what they previously were. Some abilities are still not tuned, but we'll be seeing how that works out. So the end result, smoother game, much more responsive, excellent PvP. For those who are new to the guild, welcome, first off. And understand that this guild is a PvP large-scale, basically community-based organization. And we specialize in doing large-scale community events and PvP. So for those of you who've been with us since Warhammer Online, or played Warhammer Online, or Dark Age of Camelot, or played more recent games like Guild Wars 2 and the Eternal Battlegrounds, or have played Elder Scrolls Online, or have played Darkfall, you'll have a better understanding of what we're talking about. Large-scale PvP involving multiple guilds, faction-based warfare, often involving hundreds, if not thousands, of players during large engagements and campaigns, and that's what we'll be doing here on Bleeding Hollow. There's a huge horde population for us to fight. Primarily, gaming is about entertainment. I want to provide you a place where we can have as much PvP as we could possibly want, where there's a huge pool of players for us to fight, so we're not dealing with boredom. We're going to have a tremendous number of adversaries. There's a lot of specialized PvP guilds which are very active in fight. If you were with us last night, there was a huge attack on Stormwind. They came up from the Dark Portal area as all the different Horde guilds from our server group decided that, hey, there are like 350 plus Horde here down at the Dark Portal. Let's go up and sack Stormwind. So they brought up a huge force. They had multiple raid groups. We formed up a defense. We stopped the spearhead of their attack in Trade District, and then we rolled up their assault all the way through Trade District, across the front bridge, and then wiped out the remaining raid groups in front of Stormwind, and then all the way out through Goldshire. There were probably at least 150 Horde there. Then we went off and fought a huge battle at the Dark Portal for the next 2 hours until we were completely overwhelmed and retreated through the Dark Portal and got the hell out of there. So if you're looking for a lot of PvP, if you're looking for high levels of activity where there's more targets than you can shake a stick at and that you are more or less constantly engaged, this is a great server to be on. We're looking forward to the new content in a zone called Oshrin. We don't know if they've put the player caps in or not, but either way, it's going to be several hundred players fighting over a constantly changing battlefield, and it's something that I want everyone to experience. We have many, many guides covering the new content and what it's all about. But for the time being, most of you who are coming back are going to be up against the enormous changes to your character, so please use this time to get your character squared away. Get your keys rebound, get your add-ons squared away, get your characters transferred, spend some time PvPing. You can get your PvP set, your prideful PvP set with honor right now, which means that if you spend some time doing Battlegrounds, you will be as well geared as anyone else going into the expansion. You'll have no problems leveling. You'll have the support of this guild whenever there's large-scale PvP. Will come out to assist. We'll be fighting very heavily out in the leveling zones. It's going to be chaotic. It's going to be constant fighting. It's going to be difficult. It's going to be a challenge, but it's going to be a lot of fun. This is a great place for us to be, and I'm very happy that we've made the decision to get here at Bleeding Hollow. I can promise you there will be constant city raids that we are initiating and that we're defending against. There's going to be a lot of faction leader kills. There's going to be a ton of fighting in Oshrin. There's going to be a lot of impromptu world PvP out in the New World. Flying is off, so if you remember how things were in vanilla, that's what you're going to experience. There's going to be a lot of fighting over choke points and strategic areas out in the world. And the game is significantly improved. It looks great. I'm very pleased with it, and that's where we're at as far as World of Warcraft. We still have some time. We still have, it's October 14th now. We have about a month until the game is officially launched, so you have plenty of time these next 4 weeks to get yourself squared away. So that's the news for World of Warcraft. Get out there, get your characters to max level. If you don't have full prideful, get it. Get used to playing your characters again, and get ready for a great time in that expansion. I'll be going over some additional news for the other branches. For Star Wars The Old Republic, I am proud and happy to announce the guild is full. We won our planetary conquest of Black Hole last week. We're number one. We're number one going into our planetary conquest of Alderaan for this week. SWTOR is still the best leveling experience of any game I've played. They have a new expansion, the Revan expansion, coming out in December, which means it will not directly conflict with World of Warcraft, so you can get up to max level and WoW, have your fun, and still have time to check out SWTOR. So for story, PvE, operations, it is one of the best games out there, period. I love the original Knights of the Old Republic. BioWare did an amazing job. Revan is a great antagonist. He's sort of up there with the Lich King in terms of lore and importance to the universe, and it's well worth it. If you pre-order the expansion, which is like $20, you get 12 times of experience, which means that you can basically just do your class quests and get up to max level. You will need some help from the guild to be given adaptive armor, so that as you level in this way, you'll need help from the guild to provide you mods and equipment to keep you up to date. But in about 2 or 3 days of game time, which easily can be done in a week or so, you can get a character all the way to max level. You can go on the old content runs. You can view this beautiful guild starship that we have built. You can participate in the planetary conquest events that we've done, and otherwise see this great universe. BioWare has done an amazing job of it, and it's well worth checking out. So that is the major information for our active branches. We are still doing events with Director Ian in Guild Wars 2. We have some people checking out ArcAge. We have a large number of people preparing our fleets in Star Citizen, which is streamed pretty religiously now by Commander Morphine. It's a great game. I don't know how to put this. It's people talk about a game having good graphics or it looking really great or whatever. WoW looks reasonably good, and SWTOR looks really, really good. Star Citizen is a truly next-generation game. It's difficult to even express how much better it looks. It is like watching a full CGI-rendered movie. The level of detail, it doesn't look like a video game. It looks incredibly realistic. The quality of the work that they're doing is amazing. The UIs are done by the guy who did the special effects for the user interfaces in Iron Man. It just looks fantastic. It's a fully sandbox, fully realized space universe, and frankly, you have to see some of the content at 1080p or high definition to really experience what it's like. We will have full capital ship-sized vessels, space yachts, large-scale industrial ships. Your character walks around them. Unlike on Even Live where you are your spaceship, you walk around the inside of your ships. They are to scale. You exist independently of your ship. You can do boarding actions as Space Marines if doing dogfighting isn't your thing and you just prefer the more WoW style moving your character around. It offers all of those things. There will be a ground game and FPS and all of that. It really is amazing to check out. It is something that you should look into, and that's really what I want you guys to take some interest in. We have a few years before that comes out, but that is the future. That is what games are going to look like going down the line, and it is worth taking a look at. I wouldn't endorse it otherwise. And we will have need to crew these very large vessels. Unlike many of the other games you play, you require crews to maintain larger vessels, so it's not all just about dogfighting. If you played Star Wars Galaxies, Jump to Lightspeed, you can do similar things where you have individual crew members who are gunners or they work in engineering or whatever else. So if you love sci-fi and you love space shooters, you like Star Wars style environment, that'll be a great game for us going forward. But as I said, today is primarily the WoW, get your characters dusted off and ready for the expansion. If you will be playing with us, Bleeding Hollow Alliance. Join us, get your characters up to level, get familiarized, get your mods up to date, get your full prideful set. We'll be there every step of the way. I'll be there to personally help you make sure that you're getting all that taken care of. And they have opened up new world bosses so you can get some additional gear, although they're quite difficult. So we'll be doing Ordos tonight. And I'll make sure that everyone is, in fact, ready for that. All right. Do we have any of the other directors on for news for other branches? Modius, did you have any news or information to bring up on Star Citizen, Morphine?
Nothing for news on it other than the new PBR patch that just came out. Looks utterly amazing. It's jaw-dropping. The level.
You did purchase a space yacht, which the guild will have some access to. Is that correct? There's a space yacht now.
Yes, it is. It is a absolute top-of-the-line, super-duper space yacht with hot tubs and other recreational facilities that can double as a command and control vessel for.
Did this one only cost a reverse mortgage on your house?
It was only $600 actually.
It's very expensive. It was $600 space yacht. So just so you know, there's like at least the down payment on. We're past the car area. We're moving into like beyond that. Maybe
a down payment on a house now.
Right. Yes. So everyone here will be able to enjoy the style and luxury to which you are accustomed for RuinGaming and other games, and I think it will be quite interesting to see. And as I said, I can't stress this enough. Take a look at the game. It is incredible. It is something else. And yes, it is being streamed now, so you can take a look at what some of the dogfighting is like. And the better your machine is, the more you're able to see. But certainly, really incredible.
Wow.
Just as
I also am on selling off 2 of my limited edition ships that you can no longer purchase if anyone's interested. One's a Merchantman, which is a 7-crew trading vessel. The other is a 2-seater carrier-based bomber, so it's a small fighter bomber.
Excellent. So without further ado, I think that covers most of the information. Lazarus, did you want to give a quick crash course on PvP and what to expect?
1 second, killing someone. Almost done. 1 second.
Look at the attention on the bridge arc. It's a lot.
Bunch of randoms from the Enclave hanging around us.
That's Hortigan and everybody up there. They're all up there.
Your daily dose of
Hey, just leave
attention.
them alone, man. Quit fucking trolling them. Grow up.
Is it
Okay,
just?
done.
I guess
He's
they
dead.
must be threatened. Very good.
All right, so sorry, dead warlock. Had to deal with it. What's the question? What do I need to talk about?
I wanted to have a quick TLDR version of.
About how everybody should love themselves as much as Kanye West loves himself. I agree. That's the really important life lesson.
All right. Well, the major thing I wanted to discuss is for those coming back, what characters to play, what major changes, and things that they should expect for those who do
Play
want
Paladin
to.
or play Death Knight. So, I've been doing it in the main lobby. I've just been fielding people's questions about classes. Myself, Boxen, and Ares and Durago have all been playing a lot of 3v3 on the beta. We have a good idea of where class balance is at level 100. Level 90 class balance is not necessarily reflective of how strong your class is going to be at 100. The best example of this is Warlock. Warlock is not doing particularly great at level 90. Destro is still somewhat viable. It is completely inviable at level 100. You know, little things like that. So, some of you are probably upset, confused, or just agitated. And to that, I would say, don't just look at your class and be like, well, fuck, it's screwed now. It must be terrible at level 100. The game is not balanced for level 90 in Warlords of Draenor. It's balanced for level 100. If you have any questions, I'll be more than happy to answer them on an individual basis. No, I can't teach you how to play your class now, but I can answer questions as best as you can give them. So that's what I have to say on that. As far as class balance in general is concerned, I think it's fair to say that melee are doing better than most ranged, that healers can't heal nearly as much, damage is generally speaking too high, and paladins and death knights are overpowered. You're not the only ones to notice these issues, and certainly you are not the only ones to be upset about them. So, that is that. Is that about covering? Oh,
Right,
and
very
get full Prideville gear. It's off the honor vendor now. For God's sakes, you just need to have it at this point.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, could you please join us for the world boss clear? You might port over to the shrine. We're going to do a full clear real quick. Go ahead.
Hearth out.
Hearth out to move out to the shrine, and we're going to head up to the world bosses now.